Hi everybody, welcome to Kerbal Space Program Live. Today we are going to carry on our adventure into space with our Kerbals. We didn't have a huge amount of success last time. We almost landed on the moon. We almost had a successful landing and return, but we didn't. And we crashed and we lost two Kerbals. Malden Kerman, who we shall never see again, is out there somewhere scattered across the moon. So hopefully today we're going to have a bit more success. I think we're going to try something not quite as adventurous as landing on the moon, but our main aim for today is going to be picking up some science. We have got 83 science points from our previous episodes. Our aim, I think, at the moment is going to be unlocking this guy, which is our mobile processing lab, which is one way that we can unlock some additional science points now that they've brought in the new calculation for science with the 0.23 update. To be able to make proper use of that, we're going to need to mount that onto a space station, which is going to require unlocking this one and the one that then leads to, which is here somewhere, which is our docking ports, etc. So our aim for today is going to be picking up some science points, sending them back, and hopefully unlocking some extra stuff. Now my plan for this is not going to be with a lander because we've not had much success with that, so we're going to try and play it a bit more safe. We are going to try and do, I think, a flyby of Minmus, which is the second moon out from Kerbin. What we're going to try and do, depending on how they line up when we get to launch, is we're going to try and sort of slingshot round the moon, maybe do one orbit round the moon and then fly off to Minmus, unless we can do a straight shot up to Minmus, which if we can do that then great, but hopefully we will have the fortitude to be able to slingshot off the moon, because that will take a lot less thrust, a lot less fuel, and it should just be generally easier. Science we need to unlock. We have still got some that we can unlock around Kerbin, but I think for today we're going to focus on, rather than unlocking the science that we can around Kerbin, which in honesty it won't get us that much science points, we're going to try and unlock the big money, which is on the further away planets. So into our vehicle assembly building. Hiya British Skylord and Seb and I2 Chip, who are in our chat. Feel free to ask any questions as we're going along. I will try to answer all the questions I can. What we're going to start with is we're going to load up the rocket that we were trying to use in our live stream last week. Those of you on YouTube watching this won't have seen this launch because basically it went completely wrong, so I didn't really see the point in adding it into the YouTube video, but any of you who were here on the Twitch channel will have seen me fail at getting this thing into orbit. My plan here was to send up 2 materials bays and 5 goo canisters. I think 5 is too many, so we're going to knock one of those off, but 4 goo canisters. Because of the new way that they calculate science, we can only use each goo canister once. Once it's used, we then, if we transmit it, we then can't use that again until we bring it back. So, plan today is get this lot into space, get it around Minmus, maybe use some of the goo canisters on the way, have to see how we go, how many points, but our aim is going to be to unlock a lot of science. Now, I had a bit of a think after I designed this. I built this so that we could bring all these back to the planet, and I put parachutes on and things like that. But one of the changes that they made in 0.23 means that we don't actually technically need to bring this back, because they have now added the system so that the guys in the EVA can jump out, come down and collect the information from these units, take them back to the command pod, and then as long as the command pod gets back, we get our full science points. So we can lighten the load slightly by getting rid of some of these decouplers, because if we get rid of that one and get rid of that one, wherever we end up we can just decouple this. So long as this gets back to our planet, back to home, we get all our science points, because we can send out to collect all the information from our sciencey implementation. So other than that, I think the basic idea of the rocket was pretty sound last time. We've got our struts holding it up before launch, we've got our solid boosters, our liquid rockets, our main booster. That was all not too bad. The one issue we did have was the slight collisions that we were getting as we let these engines go. Now, we got away with it last time, but I'm not going to take the risk. So we're going to add on these little babies here, which are separatrons, and we can rotate them around a little bit like so. Click. Okay, now what these will do is, if I set the staging up right, as we let go of these rockets, these will fire a short burst to launch them away from our main rocket so we don't get the collision. Thinking about it, they probably want to go a bit further down. Something like that. Now let's just check the staging, because these, yeah, they all for some reason seem to always go in the wrong place. So the first things we let go of are going to be those. They always go fine. Then we're going to be letting go of those two. So we want that one, which is there. That one, which is that one. That one, which is that one. And that one, which is that one. So they will all fire as we let go of those, and then these other lot will go, whoops, with the next stage up. Come back. This is some pretty complicated staging we've got going on here. But so now we will have our solid boosters, all our rockets and everything will be launching us off. We drop off our solid boosters. Then as we drop off our first stage of the liquid rockets, the Separatron guys will fire to make sure that they clear the rocket properly. Same with the next stage, and then we're on to our extra fuel tanks and things up here. So hopefully this is not too heavy to get us into space. We might try and do some science maybe with this materials bay and the goo as we get into the upper atmosphere, because I think there are still some points to be picked up there. And well, I think that's about it really, isn't it? We can't call this Explorer 1 because we tried Explorer 1 and that failed. So this is Explorer 2, and we are heading to Minmus in our glorified tin can. And that being the case, oh look, we've got all three of our guys back now, raised from the grave. Bill Kerman, I think it was, that we lost last time, but he's back now. We're going to save this. We're going to head to the crew thingy, whatever they call it. I keep forgetting what they call it. Right, what do they call this place? I don't know. The crew place. And let's see, who are we going to take with us? I think Gerwin. Gerwin sounds like an interesting name for us to take with us. Pretty stupid, not very courageous, but meh, who cares? He's a glorified monkey. We're sending him up probably to never come back again. So let's just make sure he is in the pilot's seat. Out you come, Jeb. In you go, Gerwin. There we go. Not risking out any of our heroes getting lost out in space. And I think we are ready to head out to the launch pad. Do, 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 do. What do we reckon, guys? Is this going to be a successful launch? Okay, here we are out on the launch pad. We are a little bit wobbly, but hopefully that won't give us too many issues. I think we've got enough aerodynamic surfaces and whatever to correct any wobble in launch. So here we are, Explorer 2 on the launch pad, ready for a mission around past the moon out to Minmus with Gerwin Kerman looking fairly smug on his first mission for the Kerbal space program. Usual procedure, SAS is on, throttle up to about 60%, and this time when we drop our solid booster rockets, let's not forget to put the throttle back up to 100%, because that's the mistake we've been making in some of our other flights. Resources on screen so we can see what we're doing. And I don't want another night flight. I'm going to speed up time to a dawn flight. Here we go. Sunrise. There we go. Okay, so sunrise flight. Explorer 2 to Minmus, ready for launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition, and we have liftoff. All rockets firing, fairly stable. We've got rid of the wobble. Looking good, fairly decent speed. Picking up altitude. Oh, I didn't drop them off. Well, hey, there they go. Those separatrons work nicely. Shed some weight, so hopefully we can build up some altitude now. Not building up altitude very quickly. They're gone now. Off they go. Whee! Whee! Now hopefully this thing can get us up outside of the atmosphere. Yeah, look at that, yeah, 70,000 metres. So now we can actually flatten this completely. There we go. So hopefully we won't increase our altitude or our apoapsis quite so much, and we will just be circularising our orbit. Oh, we just run out of fuel on that one, so here we go. Oh, music change, we're in space, we are outside the atmosphere. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, 66, and we'll just have to make sure that we circle... Oh, do we need to? How do we get to Minmus? I'm going to guess about here is where we need to burn. Where's it gone? Hang on. Oops. Set as target. What was that? Ah, that was the moon. This is what I mean about us maybe being able to get a slingshot off the moon, but that's kind of the wrong side. So let's see if going all the way out. Okay, so we need to correct... Ah, it's there. We need to correct our... because it's on a slightly different, as you can see, slightly different angle orbit. So we need to correct our angle to about there somewhere and burn out. Yep, that's much better, but we're not quite in the right place, so let's see where we need to be. I think we can do it, so I'm going to aim for us to encounter the moon. And then we'll do another burn off the moon and see where we can go from there. Sounds good. So, what do we need to be able to do that? 55 seconds. Yeah, we haven't got that in the tank that we're using at the moment. So we will be using some of our main fuel tanks. Where is our target point? Whoops, down there. Here we go. Come on. I really should start using RCS on these for these manoeuvres, or at least a reaction wheel or something. Okay, there we go. So we've got 11 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock until we can start our burn, and we need a 55-second burn. We're not going to have that in this tank, so I'm going to have to kind of try and guesstimate how long we need to be burning for when we switch over to the next tanks. I think power-wise these are roughly similar to this if we burn all four at the same time, so we should be okay. So let's spin around. Okay. Right, so we're going to want to be burning at about, where are we, 28 odd seconds, 28 to 30 seconds, something like that. I'm going to try burning at 30 slightly early, which will be in a moment, and see how we do. How long is this fuel going to last? Not very long at all. Stage, burn those. Okay, we don't need those quite as strong. There we go. Clear the manoeuvre. Where's our periapsis? Plenty of clearance on the moon there. Nearly 1.3 million meters. So there we go. We've changed our angle so that we match up with Minmus, and we are heading towards the moon. We're heading towards the moon. Hopefully we will make a brief encounter with the moon and be able to maybe slingshot off the moon and round to meet Minmus. Hopefully. Okay, we are just about to come into the gravity well of the moon in 15 seconds. Once we are in the moon's gravity, we shall see what it's going to take for us to head out to Minmus. This could be an interesting manoeuvre. There we go. Now what we need to do is kind of go around like that. Hence the slingshot reference. So .2, 2.2, yeah, so that's not going to use up too much fuel, and then once we're in an orbit around the moon we'll be in a better position to judge how we're going to approach Minmus. I'm sure that in real space programs they don't quite take this approach. I'm sure they calculate it all very carefully before they leave, but there we go. I'll tell you what we could do actually is add a secondary manoeuvre here and see what we end up with. Okay, well, it is possible, so we're gonna stick with this plan. We're gonna circularise this orbit, and then we will burn from around here somewhere to try and get us out to Minmus. So 1 hour 1 minute until we do this burn. We're already lined up, so we can just speed up time. So we're looking for a 12-second burn. 12 seconds of burn, so that's T-minus 6 seconds where we want to be starting our burn. Here's the moon. Do a quick check of the science to make sure there's no science points we can be picking up from here. Ooh, 75 science there if we can get it back. So I'm going to keep that. Let's check with the goo. Another 30 if we can get that back. So we'll keep that as well. All very good points. I think we've exhausted the crew report and the EVA stuff here. But yeah, that's some good points for us to take back with us. And whoops, we missed our burn. Oh well. Let's. I'm sure it won't make too much of a difference. Doink! There we go. All I wanted was an orbit. We have an orbit. Not particularly. Oops. Yeah, not particularly lined up with Minmus. But I'm sure that we can correct that if we burn. It would be about here actually. No, I want add manoeuvre. Oh, come on. Add manoeuvre. Woo! Yeah, come on. Something like that, just to put us back in line with Minmus again. 1 second of burn. Sure, that's not too difficult. What's that going to be? That's going to be a north, yep, north burn. Yeah. Come on. In fact, probably anywhere is going to be... Anywhere here is going to do the job, so let's try and do it by eye. Doink! Look at that. Perfectly lined up there. Probably pointless, but there we go. So we should be lined up now. Now we can start planning our manoeuvre to meet with Minmus. Kind of a South Pole pass. I don't think that looks too bad. So what's that? 26 seconds. Yeah, we've got 26 seconds of fuel in there. 699.8 meters per second of delta V. And well, it's 7.5 hours to get from there to there. So I think we better speed up time, because I'm sure that you guys probably don't want to sit there for 7.5 hours watching, well, space. So here we go, let's speed up time. Okay, are we ready, guys? Here we go. Coming up for T-minus 13 seconds, and burn. Oh no! I did that very wrong, because we are not pointing in the right direction. Because we should be pointing this way. Woo! Let's hope it's not too late to correct that. Yikes. Okay. I don't know what that was. Oh, we're running low on fuel. Yeah, we've lost our 3 outer fuel tanks. So it's Minmus or bust now. Come on. Bam! Okay. What's that done for us? Let's spin round, zoom out, see if we can see what's going on over here. Okay, so we're pretty much doing what we had planned. Minmus encounter in 3 days, 14 to 3 days, 17. Whew, okay, that was close. We recovered it. We're okay, and I think we are probably going to be okay to be heading back to Kerbal. We may have to adjust up here somewhere, but yes, we are okay to head back to Kerbal with the fuel we have left in our centre tank. We didn't fit any decouplers with these. I think we can... No, there's no use using those. So we only have this centre engine now. But we're okay. We're good. We're heading in the right direction. We're kind of drifting a bit there. Let's just correct that. I brought this parachute with me. Didn't need that. Never mind. So, well, 3 days and 16 hours. Definitely going to be speeding this time up as well. Here we go, guys. Out to Minmus. Should we say goodbye to the moon? Where's the moon? Huh? Where's it gone? Is it... Oh, there it is. It's in the... you can just see it there, glistening in the sunlight. So goodbye to the moon, and Kerbal is about to get even smaller as we head out to Minmus. Okay, something has gone wrong. What's gone wrong there? We don't appear to be encountering Minmus anymore. Why not? Something must have thrown us off. So we need to do a little bit of a burn to get us back on course. But we're okay because we can do that up here. That's not too much of an issue. No, we're going to have to judge it as we go along. The important point is we are going to get our Minmus encounter. We're going to come within 139 kilometres of it, so that's good. So this time let's line up. What a nice change in music there. Sudden change in music, but here we go. Let's line up with our target correctly this time. Okay, and we'll speed up time until we get to this manoeuvre point now. Whoops, again went too far, but it's literally only a second or two of burn, so let's watch this come up. There we go. So that puts us on course, back on course for our encounter with Minmus. And then, according to that, a collision course with Kerbal. But we can correct that as we go along. I'm more interested in what happens at Minmus at the moment. What happens in Minmus hopefully won't be staying in Minmus, because we're going to be collecting some sites and taking it back home with us. So here we go. Are we ready for an encounter with Minmus? It's going to be 700,000 metres, 700 kilometres away from it. And let's speed up time. Right, here we go. We have our encounter with Minmus. So let's see if we can see it, first of all. There's Moon, there's Kerbal, and there's Minmus, our little mint green friend. Now it would be quite easy for us to set up an orbit around here. I think we've got enough fuel to do that and then head back, and that would probably boost our science points too. So we might give that a try down in our periapsis here. What would it take? Ooh, 20 seconds. 18. Oops. 18 seconds, and then probably the same to... Oh no, that's not the right place to do that manoeuvre. Yeah, probably about the same to get us back. Have we got enough? Don't know. I don't think we're going to risk it because we are carrying some valuable science points with us on this encounter. Maybe we'll try and do that another time. Maybe with an unmanned mission, so we're not too worried about getting the people back. So, let's have a go at some science here, shall we? Let's see what we can get from our materials bay. Boom! 100 science points. Look at that. 20 science points if we transmit it, but 100 science points if we keep it and take it back with us. We're going to keep that data. Mystery goo. Another 40 science points. Keep that data. Crew report. Whoops, zoom out a little bit. Crew report. 20 science. We can transmit that because we get all of that. So that's going off. Oh look, here comes our... I forgot to show you this before. Our little transmitter that we added on instead of our old antenna. Folds out and then puts itself away again. I quite like that one. And we shall do an EVA while we're here. EVA report while in space high over Minmus. You've recorded your observations about the situation. Another 32 science. And again we can transmit that. So let's keep that, get back in the capsule and get that transmitted. Doink. And again out comes the little dish. Plenty of power. Message sent. 32 science added. So I reckon we're starting to get to the point where these are going to be adding up. Now, this is the interesting bit. Remember what I said, we don't actually have to take these back with us. What we can do is get Mr. Gerwin out on his EVA, on his jetpack, let go, turn on your rockets, and take a little spacewalk. Do. And while we're here, we can go doink, collect data, doing. Removing this experiment will render this module inoperable. Yep, we know that. Remove the data. So he's now carrying that data. Now let's see how much he can hold. Can he take this one too? Collect data. Yep. And the goo. Collect. And this goo. Remove that data. Okay, and then we take these back. Grab on. Get back in, and they all get transferred back to our capsule. So now these are, as it says, inoperable. We can't do anything with them. Oh, it was these ones, wasn't it? Yeah, we can't do anything with these. We've still got 2 goo canisters we can use, which we might try and use. We'll see if we get any different points as we get nearer to Minmus, because we're still, where are we? 2,000 kilometres, there we are, 2,000 kilometres away, and this will get us 700 kilometres away. So that might change how many points we get, but before we do that we want to see what it's going to take for us to get back to a point where we're not not set as target. No, I want to add a manoeuvre to there. There we go, add manoeuvre. Oh, that'll have to do. Maybe we can adjust it later. Maybe save some fuel and we'll adjust that later. Okay, so that's what we're going to do just after we get past the periapsis here on our Minmus flyby. 29,000 metres. Oh, 29,000 metres. Okay. Well, there we go. And we're going to hopefully take all our science back with us and get lots and lots of nice science points for us to spend on some new stuffs. So, let's speed ourselves up, take us to this periapsis, and we'll try out this mystery goo one more time. Okay. We are roughly at our periapsis. Let's check the mystery goo, see if we get any... Oh, I'm still in fast forward mode. There we go. See if we get any extra points. Oh look, we get another 40 science points. Keep. We probably won't get it again. Oh, mind you, we're keeping it, aren't we? Let's see. Keep. Putting him on EVA is going to wreck our manoeuvre, but never mind. Because the science is more important. Boosters on. This way this time, I think, wasn't it? Was it these ones? Whoops, hold on. Come back. Collect data, yep. And... collect data, yep. Back to the pod. Grab. Board. Experiments you've collected cannot be stored on this command pod. Are you sure you want to continue? Okay, so that was a bit of a waste because they don't fit. Okay, we'll have to dump them, I'm afraid. So, we know we can fit 2 of those and 2 of those. Any more than that doesn't seem to work. Get a quick crew report. Not worth anything. Fine. So, let's quickly reset up our manoeuvre, which was a burn this way. 32. That'll do for now. It's a very short burn. Directly on the periapsis by the looks of it. Here we go. Okay, there we go. We have the periapsis now. Oh, look at that. 28, 29. Oops. Let's just bring that back down a little bit, just so it's just underneath 30,000. It's just literally a nudge. Whoa! Oh dear. Get this right in a minute. There we go. That'll do. 29 kilometres. And we still have some fuel left, so we can use that fuel to slow us down once we get to Kerbin, and then we'll dump all that lot, and Gerwin can hopefully get home safely with his parachute and bring all that nice juicy science points back to our space centre. So this is quite a trek now back to Kerbin, so a lot of speeding up to do, and I shall see you on the other side. Yes, here we are, home sweet home at Kerbin, on the dark side of the planet this time unfortunately, but we have our periapsis coming in at 34 kilometres now. We can slow ourselves down as we get to the periapsis with what remaining fuel we have in our tanks. And here we see we've got half a tank of fuel there. That's plenty of fuel to slow us down, and we're just coming into the atmosphere. Watch the music change. There it goes. And let's just speed us up to our periapsis a bit. See our apoapsis come flying down there as the atmosphere slows us down. Okay, we're probably coming in pretty hot, so, oh look at that, there we go, look, you can already see the atmospheric effects there. So let's line ourselves up with a periapsis, and we will burn the rest of our fuel to slow us down. 2,000 meters per second, nearly 3 kilometers per second we're travelling there. So no wonder the atmosphere is trying to disintegrate us. Oh, we've got lights, haven't we? I put lights on this thing. Let's get the lights on. There we go. Look at that. Nice little rocket. It's actually been quite good, this rocket. It's a good little design. Whoop, there we go. We're no longer in orbit around the planet. We are landing on Kerbin. "36 kilometers up in the air still." There we go, that's the end of that fuel. So, we say goodbye to all our, well, dead weight now, isn't it? Let's just make sure we don't fling it in front of us. Let's fling it behind us instead. And maybe down a little bit. There we go, ready? Here it goes. So we're all on our own, and prep the parachute, which will probably come out at around, I don't know, 20,000 meters, 20 kilometers, to slow us down that extra bit. No more atmosphere effects. I think we've been slowed down sufficiently. Oh no, look, there we go. Couple of flickers. That'll really knock the speed off. There goes the parachute, which I presume has been heat treated in some fashion so that it doesn't burn up as we're coming down. And we're really starting to slow down now. We are under 1 kilometre a second. Still a lot of speed to lose at 17 kilometres. Under 5 kilometres now. Parachute will deploy fully at 500 metres above ground level as opposed to sea level. So we will know whether we're above the sea by what time the parachute pops. Oh, there we go. 1,100 meters, which means there is land below us. 6.9 meters per second is enough to make us a nice safe landing though. So we're expecting to touch down at about 600 meters above sea level. I'm interested to see where we've landed now. We'll have to accelerate time once we're on the ground so that we can see see where we've ended up. What am I planning on next? Question in the Twitch chat. Good question. Why don't you make us some suggestions? What would you like to see next? Bearing in mind we're probably going to have some decent science points to unlock some new tech. I would like to try and get a space station up, but I don't know whether we're going to have quite enough to unlock all of that yet. We'll have to see once this hits the floor. There we go. We are on the ground. Let's just zip round to daytime. Nighttime. Daytime! There we go. So, ooh, where are we? Let's have a look on the map. Oh, look at that. Unless I'm very much mistaken, aren't we very close to... Isn't that there, the Kerbal Space Centre? So we've landed not too far from home, really. And there we go. We've got lots of science stored in here. Lots of lovely science points. I don't think we've got an EVA stored, so let's make sure we keep all this. Jump out, see if we can do an EVA here, see for an extra few points. 1 or 2. Whoops, nice bit of glitch in there. EVA report. Hey, another 2.4 points. Nothing to sniff at. Surface sample, another 9 points. Lovely. Don't know if they're going to fit in the pod. Grab on. Can you board? Yeah, look at that. There we go. So, recover the vessel. A safe landing from one of our missions. Lots and lots of science points. Let's see what we get. 272.4 science earned on this mission. 75 science from the material study at the moon. 100 from the material study over Minmus. 40 from the goo observation at Minmus. 30 from the goo observation on the moon. 9 from the surface sample on Kerbin, 2.4 from the EVA report, and an extra 16 for recovery of a vessel returned from an orbit around the moon. Why don't we get one for recovery of a flyby round Minmus? Oh well, there we go. 7 experiments recovered, 272.4 science points, plus the ones that we transmitted gives us a grand total of 408 science points. Fantastic. Now, kid in a candy store, let's go and spend them. Now, up here we have some rockets for our larger diameter fuel, larger diameter ships. I'm not too interested in that right at this moment. I kind of want to unlock... Well, I need to unlock this so that we can get at our docking ports and things, and we want to unlock this for our processing lab, which could be very interesting for setting up a space station. That's the one, that's the word I was looking for. So I'm going to unlock this for 90 points. 318 left. None of these are particularly important, so I'm going to unlock this, which again unlocks some wider parts. Doink, but this is the one I'm interested in. This is our hitchhiker storage container, which is for us to put some people in when they're in a space station. That's a size adapter, that's another size adapter. This is a girder, which is also a size adapter. This is our Clampotron shielded docking port. our Clampotron standard docking port and a bicoupler. These are the important parts that we need for our space station. So 160 science out of 228. We are going to unlock this in preparation for building a space station. Not going to do that right now because this has been a fairly long stream so far, 1 hour and 20 minutes from my reckoning here. So I think we are going to call it a night there. But we have now unlocked some very interesting parts for us to start setting up a space station, and more importantly an orbital lab, so that we don't have to bring things back to Kerbin to get our points for them. We can instead take them to the lab and have them processed there. All very interesting stuff, and I think that's what we're going to be looking at doing in our next stream. And until then, don't forget to subscribe so that you get notifications when we go live next. If you're watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and send me some nice donations because I always need a bit of pocket money. Just kidding. And I shall see you next time. Good night.